this. Yes, welcome everyone to the Healing Beauty Symposium. Thank you so much for joining, for watching the replay, and please let me know in the comments if you are watching live or watching the replay. As I've been explaining, we're really creating a very magical energy field here for the divine feminine that can be risen in ourselves and also in our communities, in our businesses, in our relationships. And so if you haven't watched all of the replays yet, I'm going to encourage you to do that. Even if you think, oh, I'm not sure if I know that person or what they're talking about, just go and feel the energy and see if it draws you in, because I personally have been astounded by the quality, the beauty, the depth that is being shared in each of the talks. And I think that they all offer a unique perspective. And that was my deep intention, was to cover all of the areas. So welcome to Healing Beauty Symposium. This is the place to empower you, to empower your feminine heart in business, in life, and in love. And it's my very deep prayer and intention that this symposium helps to really help all of us rise this energy within us and within every life that we touch, really. So as always, my name is Kelly Morgan. I'm an activator of the divine feminine, and I do that through the sacred womb space. I am going to be talking next Friday. That's my talk, so you can hear more about this connection to your womb and what that can bring you, or connection to your hara if you are male. And so you can hear more about me then. But today I'm really excited. We are going to be talking to Diana Zugler, and I will be introducing her. She's going to be talking to us about how to build a successful online business in divine feminine principles. But as always, I'm going to invite us just to arrive, whether you're watching the replay or if you're joining live now, just to close your eyes and just to take some breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. And just really to call and gather your energy into your body. So just really connecting with your body today, feeling your body, noticing which parts you know well, which parts you're not familiar with, perhaps. Just really calling and gathering all of your energy into your body back home. Just really arriving now in this present moment. Just really inviting yourself into this circle as I welcome you here. No matter where you are in the world, what time zone you're on, whether you're watching this in real time or in a replay, just really inviting you into this magical energy that we're creating. Joining our hearts together, our womb fields, together with the womb fields, Mother Earth, Cosmic Mother. And just taking a deep physical breath and just coming back into your body now. Feeling the physical edges of your body, wiggling your fingers and your toes, and welcome. So we're going to be hearing from Diana I pre-recorded this with Diana, her interview, because she wasn't able to join us live. And so I'm really excited because I'm going to watch it again with you. I want to hear it in the energy of this. So I'm just going to share that with you now, and then we're going to get started. So I would love you to comment and let me know that you can hear it okay as well. So you can let me know in the comments if that's working for you. I'm really honoured and excited to be sharing with you today the wisdom from Diana Zugler. Hi, Diana.
Hi, Kelly. Hello, and hello, everybody. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for this invitation.
So Diana is going to be sharing with us how to build a successful online business sustained in the divine feminine principles. And she is the perfect person to speak to us about this. She's a serial entrepreneur, founder and CEO of the Instituto de Negocios Digitales, an online business institute, and she has a business school for digital CEOs and teams with over 12,000 students worldwide. For the last 4 years, she's also led a conscious abundance spirituality programs for successful women in Spanish-speaking market. And so she is just the perfect person. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome, Diana.
Thank you. I'm so honored to be here, and I congratulate you for putting this symposium together. It seems like the timing is perfect. Your selection of speakers and colleagues is just beautiful, and I'm sure it's going to be so useful for all of us.
Yeah, thank you. I know I'm looking forward to hearing everyone. So Diana, before we get into today's subject, I'd love to hear a bit about your story and how you got into the business that you run now.
Got it. I'll summarize, 15 years or so, but I was born and raised in Colombia, in a small city in Colombia. I'm the youngest of four. My mother says that I always, since I was like 5 or 6, I would always say, I'm going to travel the world. I'm going to Paris. I'm going to London. And I would wear her heels. And that's amazing because my family did not travel. We were like a solid middle class of like food and schooling. Thank goodness, no lack, but really no luxuries or travel. And I know now, after having a committed spiritual path, that of course many of the things that we experience as children come from multiple other layers and are not just literal from our environment. But I was very fortunate to have a mother that sustained that and respected that and encouraged that and said, absolutely. I'm sure she had no idea what I was going to end up doing, but she always said yes. And for me, that's really important. I actually went to college in the UK. I did political science and international relations. I've always had a desire to serve. And at that time, I thought it would be in politics in my country. I thought I was going to go train in government and then come back to Colombia. It was my dream. But then after experiences in government and experiences in international organizations, I really felt so limited, like many other women. They have this longing to serve and longing to live in prosperity, basically, and in purpose. And after 6 years in that industry of government international relations in New York City, I decided to just leave it all in a day. And I was pretty radical about it. Today, we have a lot of paths. There's reinvention and there's ways to train yourself to transition into entrepreneurship. But not at that time. You might have your experience as well. Sometimes we just had to, do the black and white thing. But what I did in that moment, and I always love sharing that, because today that I do work directly through my purpose and through service and through abundance, people think that was always the beginning. People always think I made those difficult decisions because I was gonna, serve, and that's not always the truth, especially with money. Sometimes women, we make decisions to change our lives because we feel limited with money. And at that time, that was my truth. I just felt like what I earned wasn't enough to cover student loans. That's huge in the US. It wasn't enough to live comfortably in New York. And I just felt like my potential was wasted. I felt like the sacrifices of my family to, help me were like in vain. So I love saying that because many women maybe hearing this might feel, oh no, my strategies or my efforts or what I want to do to improve my life can only be done, when I find that purpose or that calling. And sometimes the abilities that you and skills that you learn when you're organizing your life, when you start to save and when you start to maybe sell better are key to the path, right? And that's what I did. I changed careers from government to business. My first business was in the private jet world. My husband and I were renting private jets to millionaires all over the world. That's where I learned how to sell, improve my image, my communication skills, and actually saw for the first time that this world is hugely blessed There's wealth everywhere, there's prosperity everywhere, and I had never seen it or experienced it in that way. And that started to awaken this interest in what's the source of all this, how do I attract it to my life, how do I become this channel. And then there is when I said, I think there's something here through my learning, of course, and or experimenting and teaching others about how to become this channel of wealth through your skills. So I've been jumping through industries, but now I think I'm home.
Yeah, wow, that's so interesting to bring that experience. I can see how that would just open up a world of wealth.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah. So why do you think it's important then that women create business, create their own business, and also really have it sustained in divine feminine principles?
Absolutely. It's normal for all of us to enter this business world or sales or money through the way it's been designed. Let's be honest. Many of the biggest reason why women are scared to go maybe into banking, finance, getting loans, or becoming investors is because the whole language and the energy is so masculine, right? Or radical masculine. I never mean it in a bad way. It's just that there's no space for us. There's no balance. So I feel that right now that we are seeing this, you, me, many other colleagues, and many, many other teachers are finding a way of explaining the way to do business that respects our part of the story, that respects our ability. And it's a balance of both. We need both. What does it look like when we also respect the divine feminine? That means that, for example, I want to say it because I think example is the best way to teach. Kelly and I had an initial date for our interview, but I really was experiencing a personal challenge in which I did not feel at my best. And I feel that me feeling the freedom of choosing and saying, look, I want to do an amazing job in your symposium. Today's not the best day. That to me is sustaining divine feminine, because before, in my former business or in my former occupations, I would have been like, drying my tears. I'm feeling terrible and putting makeup on and maybe faking have the interview because I just couldn't fail. Or I would think, or I would be so concerned, like, geez, then I think I'm a flake. But thankfully, I knew, of course, that you are also a leader in the divine feminine, and I knew, like you did, you would understand me and we would find another spot. And I don't think the relationship was damaged, our reputations. And here we are. And today I feel fantastic. And today I'm on my best. So that's an amazing example. In the other, like everyday business operation, we also aim for simplicity. Sometimes the traditional business teachings are very highly complex, multiple layers of metrics and checks. And here we can thrive on a simple feel-good business operation. Because at the end, we are going to attract people. Some are going to buy and some are not going to buy, and that's done. When we are operating only through more radical masculine principles, there's always competition. Like, how many people are in my space? How many people do I have to, beat for leads? There's not enough leads, and there's all this language that really feels like, it feels like slavery, to be honest. So, I'm just going to stop now because I have so much to say about it. But to summarize is, you will feel imbalanced even when you have to make decisions that seem more objective or cold or rational, because they will never be at the cost of your divine feminine, your feminine self, the woman in you feeling abused or feeling like I am overproducing or overperforming to compensate for people that are underperforming around me.
So good. I really think this is an important point, because so many of us, we actually put our divine feminine into slavery, turn her off in order to be successful in business. Like, we think that's the way. So I love it that you're bringing this new way of doing both. So what kind of principles, or how can people start to create a successful business with divine feminine principles?
Perfect. So the beginning of it is, it stems from a calling, right? In the former or traditional business world, you could really start a business from a rational idea, meaning let's go brainstorm on this point of page 10 industries in demand right now, and it's literally like, your cortex forward is people are buying bubble tea, maybe a bubble tea business. And some of those things could work, that's fine, but it doesn't stem from the core of who you are. And when we are in this business, respecting our divine self, it's because we're here on a mission. And the mission that I am here to share is radically different from yours and from other men and other women. And where does that mission stem? It's everything you have had to overcome things that are very unique to you from your youth and things that always called your attention or always interested you. And 90% of us are working on issues that were very hard for us. For me, coming from a very strong middle class and trying to break, at the beginning through force and through rational thinking, how do I break this poverty and scarcity mindset? And then over time, developing this openness and this abundance and trust in myself, which I believe is the absolute abundance mindset, is no matter what, I have myself because I am connected to the source. So it stems from there. If you're here and you're thinking, yeah, I like this idea, but where do I begin? Look at your story. Look what has hurt and no longer hurts that much. What have you been overcoming or are in the middle of overcoming, and your heart is in this place? I would love to make this path shorter and easier for other people. They don't have to do it in 15 years or 20. They can do it in 6 or a year, or at least know a path. That's the most beautiful place to start. And then number 2, we have to talk about skills. And that's a huge topic because I have seen through my students and some of my clients, all of them successful business owners, that for women at the very beginning is difficult to reconcile the idea of I can really make a lot of money, because they almost feel like a betrayal of that purpose. Like that purpose is so pure and God-given or universal giving or whatever terminology and beautiful way you like to call this divine power. And that becomes the conflict. Now I know what I want to do. Now I know how I want to serve. I feel so alive when I serve, but getting money for this really is like betraying the calm. And we all have to work together in overcoming this, because as long as we're in this world, money is power, money is a tool. And I 100% believe that fulfilling our potential, even in spirituality, requires money. Being here with you requires money, at minimum a tool, Zoom, your knowledge, a website, maybe advertising. So if we're gonna change our mindset and think, I will make this sacred money because then I can expand and reach more people, we start diminishing this, like, sometimes anxiety about like, wow, you're gonna pay me for something I would do for free, right?
So true. These are really powerful nuggets. I love that, because the feminine is connected to all that is. Like, she's the part of us that sees and feels all. So coming from that purpose from within, I can see how that brings everything. And this money is such a hot topic. It's really been damned, and it's in the damnation pile, and it's really time to bring that out and claim both, because we don't have to have this one instead of the other.
Absolutely. This week precisely, I was talking in my newsletter about this principle of energetic availability. And the concept here is women, or people in general, we like to say money is energy, right? Everybody says that money is energy. And then some women, because right now we're talking about women, might feel like, I feel like I don't have the energy to do what's required to earn money, or I feel like those activities are depleting, so therefore I lose energy, or I'm constantly in social media, or I have many open tabs in my computer, or I refuse to close issues of my life. So then I bring this forward. If you're saying money is energy and you're giving your energy away in 1,000 different places, you're giving away your money. Because instead of giving it away in 20 francs, we have got to direct it and unite it into one way and one path to really be able to materialize. And I use this, sometimes I use phrases that I know I'm thinking in Spanish, so forgive me, but I tell them that's when we change from money we have generated at the energy level, but you see the numbers in the bank account. That's what's missing.
Wow, that's so powerful. Really powerful. What problems do women have then when it comes to creating successful business? What do you see?
Mm-hmm. We have talked a little bit about, it's almost like they see themselves divided. It's almost like a part of me is the creative, the one that enjoys, the one that likes teaching and all these softer skills. And then they feel like a different part of me. It's almost like I'm betraying myself a little bit when I have to go do the Excel worksheets and the reports, or refuse entirely to even look at numbers and look at that. So I've seen everything from some women now that they realize the 20% of my time that I have to work on setting up the base will give me the 80% of my time to enjoy what I want to do. Or most of them, to be honest, they just delegate the things that really don't feel like they, spark this joy. But a decision needs to be made. Just because I don't want to do some parts of my business, it doesn't mean they're going to go away. Somebody have got to do them, and we are the leaders that assign those activities. So that's a huge challenge that I have seen. Some things I don't want to do, some things don't give me pleasure, and then they just leave them like to be solved by themselves. Lack of responsibility, and then once they do it, I'll decide who's gonna solve this for my business. Then obviously it flows better. And the second challenge I see is once they are trying to build businesses from this, connection and their divine self, is that they have a problem with structures. They feel like if I really organize parts of my business, that means I don't trust God. That means I don't trust the universe. Because if I really trusted this, well, I wouldn't need all of that. And what I would like to say is, I do believe in grace, and I do believe in things that happen beyond our control. But I have seen in my experience that once I've done my part to the best of my ability, never perfection, but when I have shown, look, this is the best I can do, I dedicated the time to the best of my ability, then miracles happen because the channel is better, the channel is bigger, right? And I remove like the real frustration, which is, the guilt of I really didn't do the work, but a miracle will happen, right? And it's funny, but it's sad that we really operate that way. And then when we take a step back and we're like, okay, I'm gonna try something different. Let me build at least one little cell system. One. What does that mean? A way for people to get to know me, a way for people to fall in love with me, and a way for people to make their first payments. Simple, 3 steps. And then from that, you can receive all the miracles that you want, but you are trusting that it exists, right? So systems and structures is a huge resistance for us, but as we mature as leaders and business owners, I think we have got to start loving it.
I absolutely love this because I know so many of us, it's almost like I'm going to win the lottery one day. It's like that equivalent, but they'll never buy a ticket. It's the same thing, like doing that in our business. And so, yeah, I really like this kind of call to action because being in your divine feminine is not about doing nothing. It's also about being with you. So I really love that. It's such good advice. Can I ask a kind of follow-up question?
Sure.
I've seen like some women that are connected to their purpose, that are trying, and maybe they've been in business a few years, but things aren't working out for them. What would you recommend to those women?
I have also experienced that with a lot of my students. And when we have made sure that those steps and that organization and that true connection was there or is there, and still nothing is working out, my number one advice to them is to stop immediately for at least 2 weeks. Why? I don't like to use the word normal, but right now I can't think of anything else. This is what's true. It might not be in a week, it might not be in a day, but it is true that if you build with strong foundation, right connection, right service, you're elevating the reasons why you serve, you really have the skills to help other people. Every single one of those things are there for you, and there absolutely is nothing coming back, then we have to look at deeper causes. And what I have found, in general, many reasons, but there's 2 in particular. Sometimes we feel that the battles that we are fighting in our current life are like, oh, because I was born in 1983 and this is what I bring. And as you know, sometimes we have, karmic challenges. Sometimes we have lineage challenges. Sometimes we have things that are literally beyond our control. And until we find the help, and do the energy healing or work with the right mentors and teachers to help us uncover that, it doesn't matter if Tony Robbins is leading your business. It will not work because there are subconscious and energetic patterns there. And I have seen them many times. Some of them I experienced myself. I had a huge healing with my maternal lineage, with my 2 grandmothers. And the moment I had the guidance that I needed to work through that and seek for help and heal that, it was like magical how my business exploded. So that's number 1. And number 2, it's a topic that, to be honest, is not comfortable to hear. And that is that just because you have a calling and a purpose to study and teach a certain topic, that doesn't mean there's a business there for you. What I have seen with some of my students is that each of our lives is so different. Many of them have their main source of income from other sources, investment, real estate, husbands or partners, or even online businesses of other topics, but they are not supposed to make a living from the calling. And I know today we think that just because I have a calling, it will automatically supply my financial needs. And that is something to be found out if it's in your path. And then when they do that, they're like, oh, I'll just keep on doing this. This finance is my life. And I'll just do this, but that's not a business. I've seen people exploding in service as well.
Wow, that's really insightful. And I think it's different to what we hear out there.
Totally.
And I think that can bring comfort to some people as well, because a lot of women end up beating themselves up, you know, if their business doesn't work out. So looking at these things that you shared is really helpful. What do you think is the difference now in terms of building an online business to an offline business? Because obviously you're talking about online.
Yeah. Well, a business is a business. I like to say that an online business is a business just like selling shoes or cakes. The difference is that the delivery of our goods and services are 100% online, and that's a huge advantage because we don't have the problem of, factories or having, boxes of things in your house and forget stock. So that would be like the main difference. But in terms of making people find us, having a message that's compelling for people to select us and to buy from us, all of that is still the same. Working out with our numbers, working out with our costs and our profit and what we do for our profit. Hiring is a huge topic for women that want to truly live in the divine feminine energy. So the advantage with the online is you can become international, so much faster because you can have an ad for a low cost in 20 countries. Part of our success is the fact that I've always diversified and I always advertise in at least 20 to 24 countries. I never like to focus my business in just one country. And then what else? The fact that you can pivot and change when things are not working out much faster than if I have my living room full of a collection of shoes and then people didn't resonate, didn't like them. What to do with those? Here, it's very touch and go. My webinar was a success. My program worked, or it didn't. We can change headlines, we can change strategy, we can change landing pages, and then try again. So I feel it gives us a lot more flexibility. And I always invite people in the online business space to be zero attached. We're all in testing mode at all times. Right now, Kelly, you should know this. 2022 has been a very particular year for online business owners that have had great success in 2020 and 2021 because the energy of this year is very different. And people are trying to do exactly the same they did in 2020 and 2021, and it's simply not working. Why? The buyer, we're in a different place in our mind. We want something different. We want a different message. So we all have the responsibility to just keep updating and keep connecting to where the buyer is. So I would summarize all those reasons. Flexibility, you can pivot faster, you can reach a lot of people, and you can make mistakes faster and also succeed.
Yeah. Oh, wow. These are such good insights. Thank you, Diana. Can I ask you another question about, so you talked about the three main principles for building a successful online business. So purpose, skills, and getting, your system in place, so people can buy. If people, if women get those things set up and it's clear, did I miss something?
No, I think you got it perfectly. Yeah.
So if they get this set up, what kind of results can they expect?
Perfect. So it depends on the type of service you give, right? So if someone's starting out, I always, and they're good, they have the skill, they're good in their work, I always recommend someone starting with a service. Why? It's you can achieve that much faster. Someone books a call with you, has a 1-hour call with you, you feel what it feels like to potentially work with that person feels you can have an honest conversation that, as you know, is beyond words. It's how you feel, what you were receiving in that moment to transmit to that person. And in 1 hour and 1 hour 15 minutes, you can present what is it that you do, the type of work you do, the type of solutions and experiences this person can experience, and when you can start. So it's like a great experience to get to know the person, pitch, even though that's a very rational mind word, but really just show what you can do for the person. And that happens all the time. And when you are truly passionate about the topic and you have the results for yourself first, and you have helped other people achieve results, it's very likely that you're going to close that person to working with you. So in a matter of a month, you could really have 3 or 4 clients, for each. It can be 3 or 4 month programs each. That can happen, and that happens every day. What is the big difference with people that don't want to do one-to-one and they do want to do online courses, or they want to do group programs? That the sales process is completely different, because it's much easier to get 10 calls booked in a week and closing 5 clients and then relaxing on the sales aspect of it and just serving them. But what I feel like is that many of our colleagues and other teachers, they want to approach I want 40 people in my premium group, or I want a membership, or I want just online courses and not even give service. And those are different buyers. The buyer today in general, it wants this company, they want execution, they want the accountability. Right now, people are choosing the online courses with no support a lot less, not because of the creator, but because they don't finish them. They have their inboxes with 30 courses they haven't done. But when you have a program, we all do that. When you have a program that is like, wow, this is a welcome party. By this session, I have to bring this. We're going to experience it that day. It's much easier to actually do the program and to connect with the energy of the group, which, as you know, is very, very important. So I'm sharing this in case someone's listening and is deciding, oh, Diana, maybe I'm okay with my one-to-one. I'm happy with how people are coming, but I'm exploring other group programs. Right this second, it will really help you if you also have some aspects that are, with those people live supporting apart from your recorded lessons.
Oh, thank you. That's a really valuable insight right there, because we could spend thousands actually on setting up those courses and then never can time.
And it has nothing to do with you. And entrepreneurs and women will think, oh my God, it was me, it was the course, it was the video. No, it's the market. And that has a lot to do also with the divine feminine energy, because we are also, receivers. We're giving and we're receiving. And I feel that through our committed spiritual practice, we will receive a lot of the insights. If you're with an audience, and I have experienced this so many times, I go into a webinar, this is my plan, of course, I have something prepared, but in the middle of the webinar, I feel strongly guided to change direction. The people there need something different. And I know that's because I prayed and I meditated right before, every day, but particularly right before that webinar. I surrender myself and I say, please use me to the best of the divine purpose. Please help me to benefit these people beyond me. I completely surrender the results of this webinar beyond money. I am your humble servant. I always say that, and I have seen it work. Change the topic. Ask this person a question. Ask if this is what they're feeling. Ask if they would like an example about this and this. Literally, close the presentation, and then let's just do work with the people that are there. That doesn't happen if I enter that webinar or that sales call with, I have a plan, not diverting from it, beginning to end, and not stop to receive the information that we're receiving at the energy level.
I love how you're describing to bring the divine feminine in here, because what I'm feeling is it's actually about bringing in the human element instead of like this machine. It's just,
but no, but there's a lot of like trust and a lot of like intuition. And I do believe that you have to, little by little, we're all getting better at like using the terminology. Some people might only feel comfortable saying, oh no, I feel more intuitive in my webinar or whatever. But I have experience coming into a sales process 1,000% in my masculine energy. I have experienced that, and I have suffered the cost of that, which is I didn't really bring any balance. It felt like I was controlling. It felt like I was imposing. People were like, Diana, you were speaking so like authoritatively. I have experienced that. And I'm like, I don't want to live like this. That's all fear,
What other divine feminine principles then can you invite us to bring into our business?
One that is very strong is, the sharing of the community, right? Everything that we do when we are in our business, in our job, everything that we do can really uplift other women. And I believe that it's just not enough for me to be successful, for you to be successful. My success is 100% dependent on bringing 100, 200, 1,000 other people with me on the journey. So everything I do and everything I design is how can we uplift, for example, the 20 students that have been with me for 4 years. I want them to have a spotlight. I want them to have a moment where they get maybe more customers, or they get a moment to share their experience. Or how can I send them a small gift to their home? Because I know that when they receive this little oil or this little candle or exfoliant, they're gonna feel pampered and cared for by me, and that they're just not a customer. And we are also big on the live events for our programs. For us, it's important to, even if you experience a 6-month program, obviously 100% of the students can come because I live in Spain, but you'll be surprised. I've had people come from 10 different countries to events here because of what they want is this: the hug of their friends, the hug of their colleagues, the hug of the women that they have experienced all this transformation with. So being very intentional in how can I foster community and that everybody here is getting something, not just the creator or the leader of the program.
I love this because this is a divine feminine principle, which is collaboration. And what you were talking about earlier, the change in the years, you know, and I really feel this is coming forward now, this, you know, this community, this collaboration. So yeah, how we can bring that more into our business sounds amazing. Is there anything else that I need to ask you that I haven't asked you, Diana? I want to make sure like I haven't missed anything because you've shared such good info.
You know, as you can see, I love talking and I could talk for hours. So no, whatever you feel guided to ask me, I'm happy. I gotta say that it's really funny because for the last 6 months, I've really been like, I've had this idea in the back of my mind that I really had to do my website in English as well and maybe have something in English. And I just refused, you know, I was in total resistance. I was like, not now, I don't want to do it. I have plenty with the Spanish. And then when this invitation came, it just really felt like, don't worry, you don't have to do it like, go all out because my mind goes there, right? And I felt like, it was like, oh, okay, I can start small. I can start, you know, sharing in an event like this, or I can start, and then I don't know where this is gonna lead to, but now thanks to you, I feel like I'm really being guided to do that as well. So,
well, I would love, I mean, I could do Spanish because I live in Spain, but I would love to get your wisdom in English. So I'm sure the people watching this, women watching this, are going to be saying, yes, please. So we'll feed that back to you as well. Maybe there's enough there to get started with a group to share. What are the resources then for people who want to dive deeper with you? Is it your website, or is there anything else that we should be guiding them to?
Yes, right now we had like a unique standing landing page. So anybody that wants to reach out, I've put like a little bit of my background and a little bit of our summary on what we do for business leaders and women that feel that they really have this high potential, but that, like I said previously, that doesn't really translate into this life of money and bank accounts that are overflowing. It can translate into a life of abundance. That is something entirely different that encompasses so many other things. I completely agree with that, but we cannot forget that it also includes money. And I feel that there's a small gap that we can all help you close. So I would just share this page with you guys so that if anybody wants to reach out, we'll be there.
Yeah, so I'm going to put the link below the video. So go and check out the link below, get in contact with Diana. You can also follow her on Instagram. Thank you so much, Diana, for being part of this symposium. It's been great to speak to you.
Thank you so much, Kelly, for this opportunity. And I wish you all success in this beautiful event.
Thank you.
That was really lovely to hear. So I just really want to open it up for questions now. So questions, what is this brought up for you? What are you feeling? What are you thinking? Especially if you've watched some of the other talks, which have been more about the embodiment and the body, in fact. And now we're changing gears into more business. So I'd love to hear from you what this is bringing up for you. If you have any questions for Diana, because I will feed them back to Diana and then we can get any feedback. So let me know in the comments if you have any questions or any feedback. It'd be really lovely to hear from you. I will also check on Facebook as well, because I know people are watching there. Okay, yeah, so just having a look to see if there's any questions or feedback or... And it's been lovely to hold the energy for this, and I'm excited for tomorrow as well. Tomorrow, Monday the 11th, we are meeting at 5 p.m. Europe time. And if you need to see the times in your time zone, please go and have a look at the cover page of the Facebook group. So in the Facebook group, the top picture, the big one at the top, has each talk and what time zone it's in. because I really recommend to try and join live as you can. And I know we've had some people joining live to all of them so far, because when you join live, you get to be really in the energy of the group. And, you know, the majority of the calls are live, so you get to ask questions live. Tomorrow, then Monday, the 11th at 5 p.m. Europe time, we're speaking to Sarah Negus, and she's going to be talking to us about success consciousness and really the spiritual nature of success. So I think that will be really, really interesting. So yeah, I don't think there's any questions. There's lots of thank yous and powerful knowledge, and great to hear from Diana. So I'm going to close up today, and please come and join me tomorrow live. We're talking live with Sarah Negus. If for those that don't know Sarah, she is the modern day shaman, and she's going to be talking to us about success consciousness. So that'll be very, very beautiful. Sending you lots of love on this Sunday, and even if you're watching the replay tomorrow or whenever, sending you so much love. Thank you so much for being part of this. And if you need to watch any of the other replays, remember you can watch those in the Facebook group. And I am going to be sharing with you on the 17th, which is in a week today, Sunday the 17th, I'm going to be doing a special call. It will be the closing ceremony, and in that ceremony I'm going to highlight the key points from each speaker. So if you do miss any and you're running out of time, then make sure you put that in your diary, because that is a chance for you to come and receive a kind of highlight view of everything. And that's going to be happening on Sunday the 17th at 8 p.m. Europe time. So I'm going to encourage you to block your diaries now and come and join me live to close up and receive a kind of highlight of everything that we have been experiencing over these 10 days. Have a lovely day and evening, everyone. See you later. Bye.